All right, beautiful morning here, and it's a Sunday morning, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the job done before the rain comes. I got the materials loaded for this little project, got the little Hitachi 17U warming up, and Corey's back over there connecting to the trailer. We're gonna go a couple towns over, and there's a little emergency leach line repair job we're gonna try to get done today before this rain hits on Monday. So let's get it done. All right, Corey just dropped our load of gravel, and we're here in this little backyard. The existing fiberglass tank is under the deck. Neiman's uncovering the outlet piping coming out of the tank, and from what we know, the pipe turns downwards
right here,
right there somewhere. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut behind that, and we're going to carry this pipe out, because what the property owner discovered when he was exploring his leach field is that it's pretty deep, unnecessarily deep, and we're going to shallow it up some by getting onto the pipe at the outlet, just carrying that out with a minimal amount of fall. There's a D-box right here, and out of that D-box, I should back up, there's one leach line here that we're going to replace, very short, 20 feet or so, and then out of that D-box, it goes over here, just hits an elbow, and goes out another short leach line. So we're going to set a D-box over here so that he has that benefit of connecting to that D-box and going out maybe over here in the future if he needed to. So that's the scope. Connect to the existing piping, run out a couple D-boxes, rebuild a couple leach lines. Let's get to work. So here's what's going on. We have this arbor the property owner wants to keep, but this machine's ROPS is about 10 inches higher. And so we're gonna pull that off so we can fit up underneath here and try to save this for him. We are gonna be trenching pretty close to this one side over here. So hopefully that doesn't cave in, because there are gonna be some roots. But these nice old plants here, we wanna try to save those, so that that's almost the most important part of it, I think. So yep, we're gonna take that ROPS off and start trenching. All right, we just got this first leach line trenched out and just made it underneath this structure here, and you can see where the old leach line was, and it ended somewhere in here, and we extended it just a little bit. Per Sonoma County here, they allow us to have a 25% expansion on an existing septic system with a repair permit. We have our D boxes set, and the main thing I want to talk about with relation to these D boxes is that when you're working on a flat site, you're going to want these D boxes to be exactly at the same elevation, because what we're going to utilize is called equal distribution. That means that the wastewater is going to flow out of the septic tank. The pipe is going to have the 1 or 2% fall needed to your first distribution box, but on flat parcels, we want the leach fields to feed equally. So we were able to shoot this distribution box, the bottom of it on the inside, and we exactly matched it to the bottom inside of the other distribution box. Now these 4-hole distribution boxes have a high hole separate from the other 3 holes. We have the high hole on this far box pointing towards the property line, not to be used in the future. There is this hole here that's pointing back that direction, that the property owner could expand a leach line back along the side yard here at some point if he wants to. And on the first D box, we have the high hole pointing out in the direction of the well. They're not going to extend a leach line towards the well, so that high hole will not be used. And we're coming in this back low hole. So we're utilizing equal distribution on these boxes and using the same elevation holes on the box. And so we're waiting for our little mini skid steer to show up. It's one of those little mini guys that you can stand on the back of. They're really great, and we're going to use that small machine to scoop up that drain rock out in the driveway and bring it back into here to fill up this trench. A lot better than wheelbarrows. It's a little tight and congested in here for a full-size skid steer. They've got this deck over here, and yeah, I just figured, you know what, we'll rent the little machine for a few $100 for the day. So yep, waiting for Corey to get back with that machine, and then we'll get this first leach line graveled. we got this gravelled, and this front part of the line was pretty wet digging in there, and we had this cave in. So I'm kind of glad we brought this wider filter fabric. It's a 4-foot wide filter fabric piece, and perfect for that kind of a scenario. So we're going to get this covered with filter fabric, and all we're going to have left to do is make our connection from the D-box to the tank outlet pipe, which we've already cut clean, and then grout these boxes, stick our rebar pieces in. Oh, Neiman's already got that, and we're done. Let's take a look at this here. Oh, good. It's got a little bit of fall to it. $49.5.
49.5.
Okay, we're using a reducer coupling here, so we can get up to 4-inch diameter pipe. And I'm just using the tape right now as an aiming device with this fitting here. I'm looking straight down on top of the fitting, and I'm making a 90-degree angle right here between the tape and the fitting to line it up. When I'm happy with that, then I'll get a measurement. All right, Neiman. Need 24 inches. This was just looking a little high. Thank you, sir. I'm just aiming right now. Okay. Yep, there you are. Okay, much better. All right, just finished mortaring the boxes and bedding all the pipe to and from the boxes and to the leach lines. It's all looking great. filter fabric over the lines, and wanted to do just a quick recap on what I think was important here on this job. And that is shooting the elevation of the pipe coming out of the tank. And what we had before was whoever installed this last dropped down with a 90 and basically set the whole system down lower in the ground than it needed to be. We are in a higher groundwater area here in the wintertime, so what we did is we cut that 90 out and we just ran straight out all the way to the new D-box, basically replacing where the old D-box was, but again, higher up in elevation. Because this parcel is flat, going with equal distribution between the distribution boxes, that means the leach lines are at the same elevation, and just dug out the old pipe, dug out the old gravel, and we were able to add 25% more leach. We just extended each line a little bit. And yeah, the property owner is ready for inspection. He's going to host that himself, and we are all done here. We're just going to pack up and head on home. It was a good, fun Sunday afternoon, and appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, be safe out there. Over and out.